One of my main dreams, one of my main goals growing up, I'm still young, but even just when I was younger, is I want to be self-dependent. I want to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, make as much money as I want, wear whatever I want. I want complete freedom to do whatever I want, because growing up, I look at other people that work their jobs, that have these limitations, that have all these restrictions, that aren't happy, that can't do what they really want to do. I didn't want to live like that. The way out for me with making money was online, trading, content creation. That's all I know. That's all I do. Create content, give value, and trade to the best of my ability every single day. I can't speak for anything else, but I can speak for trading and how you can completely replace your job with trading, how you can completely replace your job with content creation. Content creation is a story for a whole nother time, but this video is gonna be completely a dive in on how you can become a full-time trader, what I personally had to do, what I recommend for you to do, all the tips, the step-by-step guide for how you can become a full-time trader. And it's not gonna happen overnight. You can even use this same exact guide for whatever business. You wanna be a full-time detailer, full-time entrepreneur, full-time salesman, whatever it is, you can use these same steps to structure your life to where you can replace your job and become fully self-dependent. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm recording right now. That's why I trade. I wanna be my own boss. Fear being average is bigger than just a brand. It's my lifestyle. It's the reason I am who I am. It's my why, it's my purpose. So with that being said, without the yapping, stay tuned to the video. If you wanna learn exactly how I trade even deeper, get the free course. It's completely free. Get the free trading webinars. It'll be just like this video you're about to watch, but full length, an hour and a half long. Check it out, completely free. I'm not here to take your money. I'm here to teach you exactly what I've done to change my life. And while I'm changing it and showing you and documenting it, I'm giving you the proof and everything you need to do the exact same thing. So with that being said, enjoy the content, and I hope to see you on the team.
All right, 16 of y'all. That's straight. That's more than enough. I don't know who was aware of the topic, but we're going to be talking about full-time trading, replacing your 9-to-5. Shit, just replacing your job in general. It don't even got to be a 9-to-5. It could be a 5-to-9. It could be a 4-to-4. It could be a 1-to-1. But if it's a job, more than likely you don't want it. So that's all that matters. But essentially, I'm not going to be going over like the chart setups, the chart concepts that are going to replace the job. I'm going to go over all the stuff that you more than likely aren't even aware of. Money management, time management, emotional control, the proven system and profitability, and then an income flow. Those are the main things that's going to be important when it comes to full-time trading. Yeah, your trading is going to be important. How you get in and out of a trade is going to be important, but that's only going to do so much in the reality of real life. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's good in trading, but outside of the trading, those concepts don't mean shit. And they're not going to do much for you outside of the charts. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. So the first thing is an income flow. This may seem pretty like common fucking sense, but you'd be surprised how uncommon common sense is. But an income flow, if you want to be a full-time trader, if you want to be self-employed, you need consistent money coming in. Now everybody would rather work for their self and work check to check, and like essentially basically people would rather be struggling to pay their rent and everything but work for themselves versus have comfortable money but have a job. And I understand that, but you also got to keep in mind trading is going to make that very hard. Now, any other business, any other industry may be a little different, but trading is not something you want to do that. And trust me, I've done it, and it's going to cause stress and emotional damage and distress that you aren't even like you're not even aware of. The main thing I would recommend, because from experience, to be able to get to the level that you want to be, having a job, having another business, having a side hustle while you're trading is going to be very beneficial, because you got to understand not every week is going to be good weeks. Imagine if I didn't have VIP. Imagine if I didn't do content. This whole week I got cooked up. If I had no other income flows, just the fact that I had a bad losing week just trading, even though it's 1 week, everybody in this call knows what losses can do to you. And now imagine if that's your only way of making money. Now imagine if that's your only way of eating. Now imagine that's your only way of having electricity, having bills, being able to feed your family, being able to feed your kid. I'm young, and even then I don't have as much responsibilities as other people, and I still be stressing. I still go through all the motions, and I don't even have a lot of responsibility. I don't have kids. I'm not married. I don't have a full house. You know what I mean? Majority of people, you can't do what I do. You know what I mean? I was able to take chances because I'm young. Most people aren't going to have that opportunity. I had to, like, what is it? Life gives you lemons, and I made lemonade. That's all it is. But in everyone's situation, it's not going to be the same. You got to be smart. In most situations, doing what I did, trying to be a full-time trader, full-time entrepreneur, and then make it happen, isn't going to work majority of the time. Even with me, I failed 4 or 5 fucking times, leaving a job thinking I was going to be a great trader, having to go back because I got no money, leaving my job because I thought I figured it out, got a funded account, lost a funded account, no money coming in. I've done it multiple times. And I can tell you, if I just would have simply kept one of those jobs, just stood with one of them, just so I had the money coming in, I had the stability to be able to fund my trading, to be able to fund my bills, to allow you to have that peace of mind to actually just focus on the craft, focus on the skill set, focus on the process, focus on the journey instead of chasing trades, trying to chase $1,000 so you can pay off your bills, pay off your car. It's a very different game when you're trading for money versus trading to actually build a skill, to actually build experience, to actually get good at it, because it's like learning a language. Imagine if you had to learn a language and your life depended on it. That shit would be hard as fuck. You know what I mean? But imagine if you just had to learn it because you wanted to. You had to learn it at your own pace. It takes the stress away. And having an income flow, if you want to be a full-time trader, trust me, it doesn't have to be a job, but just an income flow in general. Start another business, but also keep in mind, nothing happens overnight. If you start another business right now, it's more than likely going to take time to make money doing that also. A job, a side hustle, part-time job, full-time job is a guaranteed way to have money coming in. The only downside is you got to give your time away. That's the only downside of having a job, is that you got to give your time. And a lot of the time, it's a good portion of your time. And that's where everything gets all fucked up. That's why we trade. That's why we do all these things, to be able to get that time back, to use that time more efficiently. We're going to talk about time management later, but it's a very big thing, especially with your jobs. For the people that here that have jobs, you probably understand the struggle of either missing trading sessions, missing days where you can't trade, missing VIP sessions because you have a job that requires a certain amount of your time, and it's kind of hard to be able to work things around it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be a job. Like I said, business, side hustle, you want to have money coming in outside of trading, because now if you make money trading, it's only on top of it. It's only double. Now you can actually possibly even just spend that money. If you make $300 trading, you might be able to go get yourself something to eat without having to use that money for bills now. You know what I mean? Imagine making your first $300 trading, and you have like no other choice but to use that money for your bills. And immediately, as soon as you get that first payout, that first withdrawal, boom, straight into bills. That shit gone. You gonna be sick. I promise you, you gonna be sick. You gonna be like, damn, I'm doing all this work and I'm living paycheck to paycheck trading. You don't want to do that. Trust me, it's going to be way more stressful. Keep a job, keep a side hustle until you get to the point to where you have enough money saved. That's one of the main things. If anybody is contemplating going full time, anything, just being self-employed, just make sure you have enough money saved, because no matter what happens, regardless if you did, like, you took the leap before you're ready, regardless if you took it at the right time, if you have enough money to cover yourself for 6 months, a year, go for it. In my opinion, go for it, because you're not going to know until you find out. I had to find out multiple times. I thought I was ready. I wasn't ready, but I would have never known until I went through it. I would have never known what I needed to improve on to be able to get to that point until I went through it. But just have money saved. When it comes to income, have a job, have a side hustle, have multiple income flows, and make sure you have something saved. Because trying to go full time when you don't have money saved, like I said, is going to come back to that point to where you're just chasing the money instead of chasing improvement, chasing the skill, chasing the process. Trust me, if anybody that's tried to go full-time trading or is a full-time trader, you would understand. Is anybody here a full-time trader? Anybody? I think nonetheless. Didn't you say like you stopped working at one point because of your job, or was it somebody else? I think it was somebody else. I think it was somebody in the private circle. Matter of fact. But if anybody here is anybody here like only trade? I'm gonna hear your opinion if anyone do. You, if you got your mic, if you have a mic, I would love to talk to you real quick, my boy. Just to get your opinion on something. Just so somebody else, they can hear it from somebody else. Full-time trader. Yeah, unmute yourself real quick, my boy. I gotta ask you a question, just so they can hear from somebody else, so it's not just me. Where's that mic at? Where's the mic at? Where'd you go, my boy? I'm assuming you don't got a mic. Fuck it. But what I was gonna say, I was gonna ask him is, how is it? How was that transition? How is it on your emotions? How is essentially the transition? Because I'm telling you, working a job versus working for yourself is totally different. Everybody likes the idea of, oh, I can make my own money. I can work my own times. Yeah, until you realize that exactly what you are looking for is also going to be the one thing that is your downfall. Yes, we have no boss, but that also makes our life 10 times harder. We have no boss, we have no rules, we have nobody to hold us accountable besides ourselves. And that right there is something that can make or break you, because if you don't have the emotional control, which is going to be what we're leading into next, if you want to be a full-time trader, full-time entrepreneur, self-employed at all, you need to have emotional control. And emotional control, just in my opinion, goes to a whole lot of different traits about you. We could talk about discipline, because if you want to be self-employed, you need to have discipline. Without discipline, you're not going to succeed. Why? Because there's going to be days where you don't want to trade right. There's going to be days where you don't want to follow your rules, where you don't want to work out, where you don't want to follow your rules, where whatever you do, whatever you're supposed to do, you're not going to want to do. And like I said, when you have no boss, no rules, it's just completely up to you. Nobody's holding you accountable. And if, say for example, trading is lonely. Most of the people that trade end up, I'm not gonna say end up, but they're alone a lot of the time. Like they kind of live a secluded life, a secluded lifestyle for a good portion of time. I'm not sure how many of you are like that, but a good amount of time is like seclusion. You know what I mean? And when you're secluded, it's even worse because there's no outside people talking to you. That's why having a community such as this is very key, because all of us, if we weren't here in the community right now, we would all probably be in the crib doing, not just all having the same thoughts, just not talking to someone else that's having the same thing. But at the end of the day, discipline is going to be key, because you're not going to want to follow your rules. You're going to have days where you wake up, you don't feel good. There's going to be days where you just don't want to do what you're supposed to do. And when you are your business, those days where you don't want to do that and you actually don't do it is going to fuck everything up. It's not like when you have a job, if you miss a day of work, you might get penalized, you might get some hours taken off, but you're just going to be right back the next week getting paid the same amount of money. When it's you and you, that's it. If you make a fuck up, you might not get that money back ever again. If you fuck up all your money, that's not coming back. If you lose money this week, there's no guarantee you're going to make that next week. If you make some money this week, there's no guarantee you're going to make it next week. All these different things are not guaranteed, and it's all up to you. And if you don't have the discipline to actually do the things you're supposed to, all of it is you're going to lose it all even faster than you got it. And trust me, that's just a domino effect. It takes literally hours to set up dominoes. How long does it take for them all to fall down? A couple minutes, but that's just how the game goes. Discipline is one, but you need to have consistency, because when you're self-employed, when you're a full-time trader, when you're a full-time just entrepreneur, you need to have consistency. Every single day is another day to improve. Every single day is another opportunity to become better. Every single day is another chance at achieving your goals. You're not going to do anything overnight. It's the consistency effect. If I just would have posted one video on YouTube, I wouldn't have got a whole lot of views. But me posting a whole lot, it compounds. And I'm not even doing a lot of numbers now. But imagine if I only would have did one video, two video, they might have took off a little bit. But unless I would have hit 1, 2, 3, just back to back, it compounds over time to hundreds of thousands. 1,000 views a video times 30 times 60, it adds up. And the same thing goes with a trade. The trades that are small trades that are consistently added up, consistently, they add up to a whole lot long term. And consistency goes with all things, whether it's working out, consistency with your trading, consistency just with anything. Consistency with your relationships with your family, relationships with your friends, consistency with what you say to yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, how consistently do you listen to yourself? All these things most people aren't even aware of, because they've never been put into the position where it even matters. You know what I mean? When you have a job, everything is there for you. Everything is structured for you. You don't even have to think. You could just be on autopilot, you could go to work, not do nothing. You're still going to get paid. It's not the same when you're by yourself. I really wish it was that easy. But every single action you do, everything you do on a day-to-day basis can completely cook everything. And the only one to blame is you. It's easy when you have a bad day at work to blame your boss, to blame the manager, to blame higher up. When you have no one else to blame, what are you going to do? Blame the market, blame the computer? You're going to be talking to the computer. And yep, if you haven't talked to computer yet, you will soon. You're going to go through a crazy phase, but it's okay. It's okay though. But discipline, consistency, and then relentless. You need to be relentless. Why? Because everyone's time is different. I may have got to my point from 4.5 years of trading, from doing content for 10 years. That doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you. It can happen faster. It can happen longer. The only one that can dictate how long it's going to take is you. How much effort are you putting in every day? How much intention are you putting in every day? What are you doing? Because we could do the same exact thing every single day, but that doesn't mean we're going to get the same results, because we have two different lives, we have two different experiences, and we're not going to do anything the exact same. We could try to do the exact same, but a lot of the time it comes down to somebody doing something that isn't what they're supposed to do, and then it just the cycle goes down. But at the end of the day, you gotta be relentless. It's not gonna happen overnight. You're not gonna have 1,000 winning trades in a row. There's gonna be times where you have bad weeks, bad months. But if you give up, if you stop trying, then you fail. But if you never give up, you never fail. It's as simple as that. As long as you're relentless and you never give up, the only way to succeed is never giving up. Because really think about it. A loss isn't failure, it's just a loss. We lose trades all the time. That doesn't mean we're bad traders. We win trades all the time. Doesn't mean we're successful traders. But it's about being relentless, because to the end, I promise you, the longer you do something, the higher your chance at succeeding will be. Think about it. How many people do you know that have traded for 6-7 years that aren't profitable to an extent? How many people do you know have been trading for 6 months that aren't profitable? The number changes a whole lot, you know what I mean? But it's just people that stay long enough, they learn their self. They're given enough time, if that makes sense. They've been given enough time to be able to learn what they're supposed to. Now, what you do at that time is also very important, because me and you could both be trading for 10 years. But what we did within those 10 years is going to dictate our knowledge. It's going to dictate our position in life. You know what I mean? It's like those stories where people always say how they had friends, they had the same job, and then 10 years later, one person fully leveled up and the other person is still at that same job. You have the same amount of time, you have the same amount of hours each day. It's just about what you do with those hours. And that's when it's going to come down to time management. When you want to be a full-time trader, full-time entrepreneur, time management is key. Why is time management key? Because when you have no job, well, I wouldn't even say no job, when you have no schedule, when you have no salary, when you're not guaranteed to get paid nothing, you are your calendar. You have to figure out what you're going to do with every single hour of your day, every month, every year, every week. That's stressful, because there's going to be a lot of times where you literally don't know what to do. There's been so many times in my life, so many times in the past couple months, past couple years, since I've been like on my own, kind of just making money online, trying to find different ways without an actual job. When you only trade, there's so much free time in your day. So much free time, because keep in mind, imagine the winning days you have trading. Do you know how short the winning days are? They're very short. A lot of the time, the winning trading days are very short days. Now, what you do with the rest of the 12, 14, 15 hours in the rest of the day can make or break everything, because you may be able to make a whole lot of money trading, but what you're going to do with that time is very important, because everybody talks about being able to make money trading. But imagine you started making money trading, but you were done with time management and you were done with money management. And all the money you were getting, you were spending. All the money you were getting was going into bills. All the time you got back, you were wasting doing dumb shit. All that money doesn't mean nothing at that point. That's why you gotta be a well-rounded individual, because anybody can make money, but it's not as easy just being able to make money. You gotta learn how to make money. Then you gotta learn how to have work-life balance. You gotta learn how to make time useful, be your own calendar essentially. You got to be able to structure each day, have the discipline to do that, because you guys may oh yeah, that sounds easy, but now you also got to keep in mind, what are you going to do the days you don't want to do it though? Because it's very more often than you think. How many days do you wake up, you're like, damn, I'm more tired today than I thought I would? How many days you wake up like, damn, today's rainy, I feel tired today, my back hurts? There's so many things that just is not expected. You know what I mean? It's not like we tell ourselves we want to wake up tired. It's not like we tell ourselves that we want to wake up in a bad mood. It's just what happens. But now what we're going to do as a result of that, as a result of how we feel, is very key. Time management, you got to have work-life balance, because as self-employed people, like me personally, I like to work a lot. I like to put a lot of time into doing things just like this. Like, it's literally took me 10, 15 minutes just even think about these damn topics over here. But I'm just that type of person. I like to work. I like to create content. I like to trade. I like to be busy. I tell you guys every single day, stay busy, stay productive. That's like my main thing, and there's a reason behind it. I've learned so many times from being self-employed, from being on my own, that there's so much time in the day that I waste, then it ruins everything. Because I could be productive for 2-3 hours, but if I'm unproductive for another 15, 16 hours during that day, I don't care what I did in those first 2 hours. I don't care if I made $100,000 that 2 hours. I will feel so shitty from just doing nothing, just sitting. Like, I can't sit home all day and watch a movie like all day. I physically can't, even if I make a whole lot of money, because I know in the back of my head that time could be used improving even better. I know that time somebody else is using and improving, and I'm sitting here essentially wasting it. I learned from making a whole lot of money, getting comfortable with that money and not trying to make more money, that being comfortable is one of the worst positions you can be in.
But that's why time management is key, because if your life is structured to no matter what, every single day, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and each and everything is just improving you a little bit every day, both physically, mentally, maybe your business, maybe improving as a trader, improving as a boyfriend, maybe a husband, maybe a father, whatever it is, you need to have it so that time management each and every day, you're improving at little things. It's not like you're going to spend 50 hours a day just trading. No. No, no. It's not gonna do shit but just give you a headache. Trust me, you're better off spending 2 hours a day for the rest of the year than trying to go 50 hours a day for the rest of the year. Trust me, that compound effect adds up. Work-life balance is key. I'm not on the charts all day. As you guys can see, I'm not even active in VIP all day because I gotta separate my day to be able to get each thing. If I was just active in VIP all day, I wouldn't get my videos edited. I wouldn't get the videos recorded. If I was active trading all day, I wouldn't be able to, vice versa, I wouldn't be able to do the videos. I wouldn't be able to do VIP. If I was only in VIP all day, I wouldn't be able to get the videos. You get what I'm saying? I have to make my day to the point where there's dividers where I focus on certain things, because who else is going to make me do it? If I'm on this call right now for 7 hours and I don't wake up tomorrow and I can't trade, who's there to blame? Who's going to hold me accountable? No, maybe you guys, but that not everybody has this situation. You guys going to be like, damn, where this nigga at? Like his first missed call. And then he's going to be seeing no replies. I'm like, he's slumped. And then it's just going to be a bad day for me. I'm going to wake up all these messages. I'm like 200 messages. Where's this nigga at? Where's this nigga at? Most people aren't going to be in that situation. You know what I mean? Most people aren't going to have people to let them know, oh, where you at? Where you at? Because most people haven't even done it long enough to me. Like if I've done it long enough where I've shown up every day, shown up every week, to where you guys will kind of be like, damn, where'd he go? But most people haven't even like built that, repetition, built that reputation essentially. You know what I mean? It takes time, but that's just what all good things. All good things take time. But emotional control, stress control. Stress control is very key. This goes into emotional control. We talked about discipline, consistency, being relentless, but now stress control. Being a trader is not easy. You are risking your money every single day. Every single day you are risking your money. Every single day you're voluntarily putting yourself on an emotional roller coaster. Now, it does get easier to handle the emotions. Don't get me wrong. The longer you trade, the better you get at trading, the better you get at risk management, the better you get at handling losses. It all gets easier to handle. The emotions never go away. They just get easier to handle. When you take a loss, you don't feel like crying. You just feel like walking away now. You know what I mean? Same emotions, different result. You know what I mean? That's really all it comes down to, being able to handle it better. But stress control is key because, like I said, when you're risking money every day, if that's money you need for bills, if that's money you need to eat, if that's money that you don't have and you're risking, it's going to make you say, fuck the process, fuck the rules, and you're going to be chasing the money. You're going to be chasing the feeling that winning gives you. That's another thing. Me personally, I'm not the type of person that I will constantly keep taking a trade to make money, but I'm the type of person that will constantly keep taking a trade just to be right. Fuck the money. I will end the day being wrong, being 100% negative for the day. But just something about me, I hate losing. I will keep trying to take a trade, being stubborn, just trying to be right, chase that feeling of being right, and then it gives me that same result. But it just comes down to, you got to know yourself. Time management, you got to understand stress control is key, because when it's just you, it's you versus you. Ain't nobody gonna help you, and all that stress is gonna do is make you do something you don't want to do. It's gonna make you do something. It's just like not thinking straight. When you're angry, you're not thinking straight. When you have these high frequency emotions, you're not going to be moving at your highest productivity. Like, even just think about, imagine like you're just working regular. And let's just say, God forbid, somebody calls you and says like bad news or something. Everything is going to change. Completely everything. Like, you were perfectly fine. But just, you get what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that is that's just life. You know what I mean? Things are like that are gonna happen, but it's about being aware of that, because most people, they're not aware of things like this can happen. They're stuck on, let me get the perfect strategy, perfect system so I could become a full-time trader and leave my job. Then they leave their job, they do all these things, and then they get hit with the real life reality. Damn. My job isn't my whole entire life. This is just one portion. I still have to focus on all of this, because now that I put all this time into trading my business, I got no friends, I got no family, and now I don't know what to do outside of my computer. You want to be a well-rounded individual. At the end of the day, money isn't everything. You need money for everything, but money itself isn't everything. You just want the money to be able to get your time, to then spend that time doing what you really want to do, following your purpose, living the life, giving for others.
But we went over so far an income flow. Income flow is very key. That was the stress control was the last little topic for emotional control. So emotional control, we talked about the discipline to be able to work regardless, the consistency, being relentless, stress control. We talked about time management, work-life balance. You got to be able to have a work-life balance. You got to make time for your family. You got to make time for your friends. Well, at least friends and family that you want to keep around. That's another key thing. If you got friends you don't really give a fuck about, fuck giving them time. Time to the things that matter is what's important. If you have friends and family you want to keep around, you got to give them time. That's another key thing. If you don't care about the friends, fuck them niggas. No cap. Productivity. When you're a full-time entrepreneur, when you're self-employed, you got to stay busy. I promise you, if you don't stay busy, you're going to get complacent, you're going to get comfortable, and you're going to lose it all. You may not like the sound of that, but it's true. All the money in the world goes back to the people that deserve it. All the money in the world goes back to the same hands, the same people, every single fucking time. Trust me, every time I make a whole lot of money and I think about spending it on something, I start thinking, I'm like, damn, I just made all this money. I'm about to give it to this person who's doing nothing right now. And I just spent, basically, I look at it, I'm like, damn, I spent all week trading to make this money just to give it to one person that's sitting there doing nothing. And he's going to actually put it into something that's going to make him more money. And then I sit there like, damn, I'm doing this shit all wrong. And then I just stay in the house and don't spend money. But now, money management. Money management is a key one. If you want to be a full-time trader, full-time entrepreneur, self-employed, you need money management, because like I was saying earlier, you can make all the money trading. You can make $100,000 a year just from trading. But if you're spending $95,000 a year, that doesn't mean shit.